I'm here at Olustee battlefield in northeast Florida, where you can see the railway track behind me. The Union forces under the command of a General Alfred Colquitt advanced from Jacksonville heading towards Lake City, which would be in the other direction behind me, and they met at this point called Ocean Pond, which is often called the Battle of Ocean Pond or the Battle of Olustee. So I'm going to cross the railway track, and then to my right as you cross the railway track there is a monument to the battle. There were approximately 5,000 troops from each side engaged. The Southern Army was commanded by General Joseph Finnegan, who was from Monaghan in Ireland, and he was a railway baron, a wealthy man, and he got the position, I think, mainly due to his position in society rather than any great military capacity. And the Union side was commanded by a General Seymour, who had seen plenty of battlefield experience. And to begin with, General Finnegan had about 4 miles away, he had an entrenched position, and he was hoping to draw the Union forces into attacking his entrenched position. So he sent Brigadier General Colquitt forward, and with 2 experienced regiments to draw in the Union Army. But he hadn't done any research into how big the Union Army was, and when General Finnegan thought that it was a smaller force, he changed his mind, and he sent troops forward to attack the Union soldiers, which was a risk and a gamble, but ultimately it paid off, and the Confederate Army was successful. One of the famous regiments that fought on the Union side was the 54th Massachusetts, and they basically were put into the battle late in the day so that the rest could retreat. They saved the Union Army that day. Behind me you can see, this is the main monument. You can see some cannon, and as I pan you can see that there is a monument. So this is the monument from the front, and it's a Confederate monument and acknowledging the role played by, and it mentions the various regiments that were involved. And on the right hand side here you can see there is a monument to General Colquitt, and over on the left hand side you see the cannon there, just across from the cannon. Beside the cannon there's a monument to General Joseph Finnegan. On the left hand side here you can see this is the interpretive centre or the visitor centre, but it is closed today. Today is a Monday, even though it says on the door of the building that it's open from Thursday through Monday. So my advice to any visitors is to phone before you arrive. So that's my advice. You can see General Finnegan's monument. And then the main monument, I'll just bring it over so you can see. And then to the right of the monument there's a smaller, recently erected monument to General Alfred Colquitt, hero of Olustee, and I think that's a fair assessment. I think that General Finnegan was lucky to have somebody of his experience with two experienced regiments fighting for the Confederate side on that day. This is the visitor centre, and just to the left there is a trail, so I'm going to take a walk down that trail now. To the left there are information signs that designate the beginning of the trail. Which I wasn't aware of, so I took the road to the right there, but eventually did come across the trail and eventually picked up signs. So you can see you pass out the main information board, and then you can see in the distance the first information signs, and there is an arrow on the tree then to tell you what direction to take, directional arrow, you can see it there. The walk takes less than an hour, and the directional signs are telling the story of the battle rather than showing you that where the sign was some action happened. It's just a kind of a circular walk that that outlines the story of the battle. The trail is somewhat confusing. There aren't a huge number of directional signs, and every so often you'll meet an information board. So this is one. And you can see in the background, and I'll go out to that and walk towards it. This appears to be the area where a lot of the fighting took place, and the only reason I say that is you can see in the background here that there is some seating, and Olustee is very, very famous for its reenactments on the 20th of February every year on the anniversary of the battle. There is a very, very good reenactment that takes place here. So again, I don't know, but this does look like an area. You can see the ropes and the seating then. It does look like an area that's purpose built for spectators to watch a reenactment. Just to give you an idea of the difficulty of knowing where to go, there's a road to the right, or a pathway to the right and a pathway to the left, and I'm going to the left in the absence of any sign because there seems to be an information board to the left. Yes, that was an information board about the battle. What I've noticed about the information boards is they seem to be favouring the Union side of the story, as in telling the story from the Union side.